Our next speaker is Borel, one of the co-founders of Logitech, whom we all recognize as mouse maker to the world. And it was actually while he was a master's student in computer science here at Stanford that he met his co-founder and got bitten by the bug, so to speak, and went on to pursue that business. But before he comes out to speak, we're going to roll a short video.
So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was all about technology, which I wanted to share with you, and it's a pleasure, honor to be with you tonight, this afternoon. I was also a physicist at the time, so it didn't work as well, I guess. You heard about the smart people this afternoon. Now you are going to be hearing about the lucky one. You saw on Doug's demo, there was a product on the right side, the mouse, and on the other side was a key set. We were lucky to pick up the right side, which eventually turned out to be millions of, billions of them actually sold in the world. The point, surviving. Yes, you know when you go and come up and build a company based on a small device, which forces you to go around the world to be able to survive somehow, you are very sensitive to it. And when I proposed this title today, people were much more inclined to say yes, from what we have seen going on nowadays. Doug has mentioned it many times. It's about people. It's about passion. Never, ever giving up. And clearly, as we all know and we see and witness today, that success is never final. So, thanking Doug for what he allowed us to actually live, and the video was supposed to show you people from all over the world because Logitech has grown from nothing to go around the world, and as a good missionary trying to promote products which people like to use. And somewhere backstage, 1976, I was lucky here to come to Stanford and meet a partner who is here today as well, and we eventually started a company later on based on the fire in the valley which we could see. For us, it was in Switzerland. You know, in California, you have garage. In Switzerland, you have farms. So that's the farm where we started. In a small, tiny village next to Geneva called Apples. Yes, Apples. And that's the reason why my mother thought for many years that I was the founder of Apple Computer, of course. What else? What else? Well, thanks to Doug and his dream, and certainly the mouse was not part of your main vision. It was much bigger, much smarter, but for us, this little thing gave us a unique vision on the long term. As a matter of fact, this little image came from Doug. It was on Doug's door in his office, and we saw it once, and came our vision, a long-term vision of, we would call the man-machine interface between you and the technology, namely at the time, the personal computer. And you know, in a world where everything changes every day, to have a long-lasting vision is great, because with this little device, we went all around the world and we saw that nothing is safe. I still remember the days of the Altair, the Kromenko coming from Stanford, the VisiCorp, the Metaphor, the Convergence, the DEC. We talked about it recently. Netscape, many of them died, and we are still alive. So we are very happy that this little mouse allowed us to see the world from a different angle. But you need to run fast, otherwise you die, as we all know. So that's a challenge. Because the computer industry is a bloody industry, but it's also an extremely exciting one. So for us, the first lucky move, again, luck, was to get this first mouse from the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology in Switzerland, which was based on some technology which was kind of unique. And we took it and ran around the world. Our first poster to go and conquer the world, who is afraid of Logitech mouse. When we first had it in 1983 at the West Coast Computer Fair in San Francisco, we got some ladies coming after my partner with an umbrella because she felt it was not really right to show those legs on a poster. But this was the start for us in this world. And then we went as good engineers to develop mice for OEM market, for HP at first, then for Digital Equipment Corporation, for AT&T, and eventually we wanted to go after Apple. You know, afterwards, Apple was the only one in '84 to have with every single computer a mouse. And this forced us to make another lucky move, which was to move to Taiwan very, very early on. Then into the retail. You recognize this, you know, Mickey Mouse, but this was the first $99 mouse in the retail market. And building on it, we realized that going forward, you had to survive, you had to fight every day. So we learned one lesson, which was never, ever give up, and we didn't, actually. We ran into some crises, but as the Chinese say, Chinese crisis mean Wei-Ji, two ideograms, one is risk, the other one was opportunity, and fighting, we were lucky to focus on the opportunities and eventually survive all those years. So this vision of the interface became bigger and bigger, and around your computer you can have just a mouse, a keyboard, a camera, a joystick, and you might know some of those. But let me just to focus for a few minutes on the mouse. And the mouse was just an amazing device, still there. As a matter of fact, I remember in '84, when we first had the product for Hewlett-Packard, the 150, some of you might remember HP 150, you had two input devices. One was a mouse, the other one was a touch screen. After a few months, people were tired to touch the screen, which was all dirty, so the mouse was the only one to survive, allowing us to actually invent, create. It's amazing how you can innovate around the mouse. Those are all models year after year. We learned a lot. This was one in 1991, the first time we went into the market with a Kidz mouse. And we learned our first lesson because 1991, unfortunately for us, there was no retail market, no real market, home market. So in 4 months, we built 4 years of inventory. First lesson. We learned about design. And then to promote through advertisement, my partner is here, it's recognized this one. Feels good was Microsoft mouse, feels better was Logitech, of course. Then you turn the mouse upside down, the trackball, and you use your thumb, which was much smarter than the other button. And here again, the advertisement was a pretty funny one. You know, if you are an extraterrestrial, you can use the other guy, so trying to fight competition. But innovation is what has made the difference, because nowadays most of you have a mouse, and you need to change them hopefully once in a while. And innovation has been great through the mouse. First we came with radio technology, cordless, RF, and we kept improving it over time. Then it was laser to optical. Then what was interesting as well, that, you know, the mechanical part came back again, the little wheel to spin very quickly through all your documents faster, to be like a watch. Then you don't stop there, because in the current world, you can, on your PC or your TV set, you can watch your pictures or your music, and just this gyroscopic mouse allows you to just increase the sound or decrease the sound or move to the next picture. Not to say that when you go on Google Earth, and I'm sure you are going there, you have the 3D mouse. In the space, you can navigate. So, Doug, your vision has been just fantastic for us and allowed us to keep growing and developing. And this year, which is the year of the mouse in China, some of you will know, it's Lao Su. It's a year we just a few days ago, it was just by chance, we celebrated our first 1 billion. I say first 1 billion because it will be the second one sometime. 1 billion mouse. You can go all back to back, all the way to the moon and back to Earth. So this was our luck. We've been lucky there. But it doesn't stop there, because the world is getting more and more digital. And of course, as you know, you can communicate freely. You can communicate visually using your PC and also maybe soon your living room TV set. But there are things which goes even further than that, and that's what I wanted to say again, thank you to Doug, about this vision of this interface, because beyond the PC, you have the digital home, and you have remote controllers. Maybe the real picture you have home is more this one, where you have many of them. I'm sure that this is familiar to you. And the good news I have for you, because you can find just one, and it's Christmas time, so, you know, just give yourself a break. In one button, you'll be able to just access whatever you want, without having to go and change from remote controller to remote controller. Meaning by that, this interface, which the mouse was the icon for us, was translated into going beyond the PC into the living room. But beyond just the remote controller, you can have all your music in your hand. You all know and have certainly an iPod. But the good news is that beyond the iPod, you have the iPod from the home, where now in one remote controller, again, the interface to the technology, you don't need to care about what's there. You don't need a PC, which my wife would not look at. You just have all your music in your hand, whether your radio, whether your internet radio or music, you have it right there in your hand for your house. So this has been for us a wonderful trip, a wonderful journey, and I can only thank Doug. As a matter of fact, as we all know, it's all about people, and augmented knowledge was also important for us, even so it was not done exactly the way Doug had in mind, but getting people connected around the world. And for Logitech, we have about 8,000 or 9,000 people around the world communicating, working together, being aligned, thanks to those tools which are there, and allowing us to actually access the best human talent and resources we can find wherever they are in the world, working in just one family. So that's been a wonderful thing. This said, and the mouse has kept growing, all those products have been very successful for Logitech. We all know and realize that certainly success is never final. We need to keep fighting. The blood is still there, but there is so many things which remain to be invented that we will invent them, we'll be there, and we'll keep surviving. And Doug, thank you very much. Without you, I would not be here today. Logitech would not be there. Thank you very much, Doug. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you.
We're going to run the video.
What? Yeah.
So we're going to try again to run Daniel's video.
Oh. Maybe. Good. Well, maybe tomorrow we'll have another session. If you are free, you can come back, you know.
The startup company at the beginning.
It's the same. Now you get to get the picture.
It was really,
oh.
It was really the startup company at the beginning.
It's the same company that I joined 20 plus years ago.
And what I think I found in Logitech was a certain excitement and enthusiasm about really building a business.
And that's the real magic of this company.
It's all about passion.
It's a long love story.
One of the founding concepts of Logitech is the embracement of global diversity.
It's a place you can meet all kinds of people.
That means people can learn from each other.
Logitech culture is a very global.
Whenever you do something and whenever you sleep, somebody else is working for you.
We're gotten to be a much larger company, but still with a small company feeling.
It's always changing.
Your way of understanding the world is bigger.
Again, thank you, Doug. It was a global world. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.